Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. Hold on a sec. There we go. Good. Yes, welcome to Sugar Free. Here is the daily reading for Wednesday, the 27th, flippin' heck, of September. Something really nice about that date somehow. I don't know why. It's a lovely mixture of evens and odds. If I can put it that way. Right, I've got here the major arcana of the ancient Italian tarot. Very nice deck. A gift to me a good 10 years ago from my then partner. Very, very kind. I think it was for my birthday. And here I've got the major arcana of the the minor arcana of the Rider-Waite split into its suits. So I'm going to pull three from this pack, and we're then going to clarify each of those three major arcana cards with one from the Pentacles, one from the Wands, one from the Swords, and one from the Cups. So let's have a little looky-see for Wednesday. Whoops. Ooh, the 27th. Sometimes I take jumpers and sometimes I don't. So to speak, one last shuffle and we'll get going. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're doing well. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Right, we've got the Magician. We've got Death in the reverse. Okay. So there's a wish here to manifest something, to make something happen, or there's the energy of making something happen, perhaps the sense that one can make something happen. But here we've got blocked change, and that might not be a bad thing. I mean, this is quite an energy to engage with. You know, it'll come to us all sooner or later. But it's the inevitability of change. That's what's in this card. Yeah, it's inevitable, from the French éviter, meaning to avoid. It's unavoidable, but it's in reverse. Okay, and we've got the Empress. How wonderful. So we've got two real cards of making stuff happen here, and sitting in the middle, this is also about stuff happening because it's Death in the reverse. So, but it's not quite happening the way we might think it, because there's a kind of undertow energy here in this second position. The Magician, you know, card number one, the card of I can. Whether I will or not is another matter, but I can. Okay, then we get the High Priestess, and immediately after the High Priestess, card number two, we get card number three. So we've got fresh energy here. And I mean, what could be more fresh than the Empress? Really, you know, it's as fresh as an unfurling leaf on the tip of a plant in the spring. It's as fresh as that, man. It's as fresh as a winged thing hatching from a chrysalis. It's absolutely beautiful. It's that impulse towards growth. And again, you know, this Death in the reverse, this is about growth as well, but it's not necessarily the same sort of impulse. So, and like I say, the proto card of capacity here in the, so we've got the capacity of the self, and we've got the inexorable Shakti of growth. And sitting in between them, we've got this, no, this shift is not happening. Very interesting energy. Let's start clarifying. I mean, it's a fantastic outcome, just to say. Right, position one here, which is today occupied by card number one, is the immediate kind of energetic environment here. Things as you see them, things as they appear to be right now. Position two is the hidden energy, what we can't necessarily discern so easily, or perhaps don't want to look at for some reason or other. Position 3 is things as they really are. This is the kind of the personal perspective. This is the wider universal perspective. And what's sitting in between them is this. So I'm going to start with the Magician here. Now, I don't take reversals in this Minor Arcana section. Yeah, you see, look, another card of work, making it happen. The Eight of Pentacles, you know, knocking them out, just like industry, getting your nut down and actually manifesting something. And, you know, perhaps through this effort, because here we have like the sense of making stuff happen. Here we've got the actual engagement with making stuff happen. And perhaps that shift from the kind of the sense of it to the actual practical hands-on is kind of feeding in to this Death in the reverse here. Perhaps it's kind of staving it off. Let's keep going. Ace of Wands, more action. I mean, if Pentacles is about doing stuff that can bring you some sort of return, like work, for example, buying and selling stuff. I mean, this, the Wands, is actual like physical, like IRL objects that one is involved in the creation of or the establishment of. And I mean, Ace of Wands, good God, you know, it's very, very similar energy to the Magician here. Like it just seems to sort of pop out of nowhere. So there's a real sense here of engagement, the spending of energy in with the intention of creating some sort of return. And here we've just got like stuff appearing seemingly out of nowhere, like fully formed. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Right, bit of a fly in the ointment there. Five of Swords. Let's push on. And Two of Cups. Okay. There's some interpersonal stuff going on here. And I feel like here we're sort of bleeding into this second column. From this very sure-footed energy of the first three cards, we have this sort of, I mean, yeah, it's not really conflict. Nobody's actually fighting here. But this is post-conflict. I wonder whether there's some sort of scorched earth policy being kind of enacted here. And that might be a facet of the work being put in here in the Eight of Pentacles. Because there are no winners here. I mean, he seems like a winner. But I always think about him that he didn't actually ever fight. You know, I mean, I know it's like details of iconography, but, you know, they're both wearing cloaks. He seems like he's just turned up from the cafe and sort of come across or waited until the fighting is done and then goes around sort of somehow benefiting from it, taking advantage of it in an advantageous position in the context of the conflicts of others. That's what I'm getting there. We'll carry on and see how that actually works, because I mean, nothing's really worth gaining or making happen if this energy has to be employed in order to achieve it. It's not really worth it. But this is Two of Cups here, equal exchange. There's something massively unequal going on here in the Five of Swords, and sort of a little bit underhand, a bit, yeah, kind of acting in circumstances in such a way that one will come out, you know, smelling of roses and in a better position than other people involved in it. There's something, I mean, it's not Seven of Swords, but it's kind of going that way. But I sort of feel like here there's a kind of, there's a decision that if this has to happen, then so be it. Because the rest of this energy is so strong. And yeah, what I'm seeing here is someone who, and I mean, maybe it's you, dear viewer or dear listener, but someone who is fully like au fait with this energy and has kind of mastered it. And that doesn't mean that they've mastered it in the sense of being the one here going around picking swords off a battlefield where they were not present, where they did not show up. It's not about being a master of that. It's about being like fully aware that this shit goes down and kind of having the bandwidth to accommodate this as, you know, an unfortunate aspect of what has to happen in order to bring something about. And the foundation, the emotional foundation of that is in this kind of respect. You know, no one's cheating anyone here in the Two of Cups. You know, the cups are equal. It's I mean, people say this card is about love, but it's much, much more profound, or sort of, you know, intimate love. It's much more profound than that. Because they're not the same, you see. One of them is one type and the other one is the other type. So they're both bringing their trust and their respect to each other, and they respect each other for who and what they are, even though they are different from each other. And that respect and that exchange of, what would be the word? That sort of mutual accommodation here gives rise to this beautiful sort of double helix kind of thing, and this caduceus of healing. I believe this is the symbol used for sort of medical practitioners, or it's something very similar to that. So there's healing comes from this. And somehow at this point in the reading, this Five of Swords energy is also accommodated, not necessarily engaged in, but, you know, just understood that, like I said, this stuff does happen sometimes between people, but even that is accommodated and respected with compassion. And this is the direction of emotional travel, even if this has to be acknowledged sometimes. I thought I'm getting off that. So let's get a little bit more on this Death in the reverse, because it's kind of mysterious. Something isn't ending. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the Five of Swords energy. We'll see. But something's sort of tugging at this. And I think it is something to do with this Five of Swords, because it's very, it stands out in this column. It's this like slight sort of seam or vein of mild toxicity running through things. And perhaps that is what is leading to this kind of blocked energy here. Okay, Page of Pentacles. I mean, these readings work vertically and horizontally. There's too much navel gazing, and I've never seen that before in a Page of Pentacles, but like self-focus and sort of, yeah, I'm seeing narcissism in this today. How bizarre. But it's such a kind of pratish, if that word even exists, kind of next step from this. The Eight of Pentacles, so humble, just, as I say, getting your nut down and just, yeah, getting on with the job, rolling your sleeves up, getting your hands dirty, whatever. And then we move on to this sort of, I mean, he's gazing at that pentacle like it's a mirror. Very odd. Let's keep going. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, okay, today I see vanity. So we've got narcissism and vanity. And, you know, it's easy to get narcissism and vanity mixed up. But, you know, it's possible to really hate yourself and still be a narcissist. In fact, most narcissists do deeply, deeply reject themselves. But we've got like unending self-focus here and a kind of self-satisfied air I'm getting off the Queen of Wands today. I mean, those two things in and of themselves will block change. But you can't block her. And somewhere along the line in this reading, perhaps there might be some business between these two energies here. Because, I mean, this is pure Shakti, the Empress. You know, the energy that makes everything move, the energy that makes everything grow, or, you know, the energy of movement and growth and evolution in whatever direction. But there's this energy here, the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, feels very kind of squashed and constricted somehow. But also within that squashing and that constriction, there's something very rich going on in here, or very complex, if I can put it that way. Because to use the word rich outside of financial context usually has some sort of positive, you know, if you talk about, you know, I don't know, can't think of it at the moment, but this is closed. This is like a closed circuit, definitely, for clarifying the death card in the reverse there. Right, let's keep going. Yeah, look, another closed circuit, the Four of Swords. It just strikes me, I'll come back to this Four of Swords obviously shortly, but it just strikes me that the Queen of Wands here is kind of looking the other way from this. She doesn't want to look at the effort. She wants to follow the sun like that sunflower does that she's holding there. That's her focus. Her focus is not on this work, and his focus is not on this work. So there is this kind of closed circuit of self-focus here, and we see it again. Okay, what I'm getting off this today, the Four of Swords, is the great mistake we make when we know we are right. And I mean, you know, sometimes things being correct or incorrect is a matter of sort of simple fact or paperwork and stuff like that, you know. But this is an attitude, and there's something really kind of embedded about this in this second column here. I mean, the Four of Swords sometimes for me is a card of sort of withdrawal. It's like Minor Arcana, Hanged Man, this sense of withdrawal and contemplation of the Three Swords. And you know, the Three of Swords, well, it might come up there, so I'm not going to go looking for it to show you, but it's, you know, it's the card of emotional pain, basically. But and you know, sometimes I see a lot of growth in this, but I really, really don't today. Today I see someone shut in who's kind of got this Three of Swords, this emotional pain thing kind of off to one side, like stuck to the wall. And there's a stuckness here today. And yeah, a kind of like sort of talk to the hand kind of energy about this in this reading. Bizarre. Oh, there's another royal. King of Cups. This is emotional, I mean, self-control to the nth degree here in the King of Cups. So everything's kind of battened down here, but I don't know why. It's something to do with this Five of Swords energy here. There's I wonder if the Three of Pentacles is going to come up anywhere, because I don't see anything here in this kind of manifestational energy apart from this, which is profound, But this is the only sense I've got of a sort of interaction and collaboration in this first column. The Two of Cups is the only sign of that. Everything's very kind of self-focused. He's thinking of himself. This is, I can. This is not the card of just manifestation. That's this, the Empress. But there's a degree of self-focus here, and it's like this Five of Swords energy is a kind of hook, and this is how it is responded to, with this kind of turning away from this and a kind of sense that if one can keep oneself kind of battened down and like emotionally controlled through self-focus and not looking too hard at this kind of project energy here in the first column, that it will be a way of accommodating and explaining and just coping with the presence of this kind of energy, because there's something really underhand here, and sort of profiting from other people's like conflict and exhaustion and demoralization, which is what we see in the two figures here in the background who did actually get their hands dirty. This is the key card for me so far in this reading, this Two of Cups, because this today is all about something not moving forward. Something not coming, like plopping out a finished product at the end of the manufacture process, and therefore the return not coming. That's what's blocking it. You work and you work and you work. You have ideas and ideas and ideas. There's something rejected here. And it's gumming up the works. Right, let's okay. Oh. Well, I mean, Queen of Pentacles is minor arcana, Empress energy. This is earth, this is material, this is nature. And we've gone from this sort of rather ridiculous, pratish again. I don't even know if that word exists. But it would be spelt Pratish, from sort of prating, meaning sort of going on and on in this rather sort of pompous and flamboyant way. I find this very reassuring so far in column 3. I really, really do. Because, we've gone from this sort of like, oh, my beautiful pentacle. Like, oh, how look at me with my lovely pentacles. I think I can see myself reflected in my pentacle. But here we have utter devotion to the pentacle baby. Let's keep going. That's absolutely lovely, and what a wonderful it's just clarification for the Empress energy here. And that suggests to me, when I get direct clarification like that, is so close. Major arcana, minor arcana, it's the same thing. I take that as a very good sign for the energy of the reading, and as I say, very reassuring, as is this, the Six of Wands. Beautiful. Let's carry on, because there's more to this card than... You see, this is really collective. My God, I'm just getting a massive deja vu. Massive. In looking at the contrast between this Queen of Wands energy in this column, in this reading. This kind of vanity here. narcissism and vanity. It's all about me, and I'm pretty pleased with myself. And I know I'm right, and I never mess up emotionally. It's pretty bloody confident, but as I say, you know, these are all clarifying death in the reverse. It's like some like unfortuitous weather system at the beginning of the growth cycle. But, you know, we get very positive cards so far. Oh, wow. King of Swords. So we've got a Queen and a King here, and we've got a Queen and a King here. We've got a representation of like royal energy and authority in all four suits now. That's, I think, haven't we? Pentacles. Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, yeah, Pentacles, Cups, Wands, and Swords. Yeah, we've got all four suits showing their power cards. There's precision here in terms of the thinking about this. This absolutely just knocks these two things out of the park. This like damaging and ridiculous, I know I'm right kind of energy. You know, I'm me, isn't it amazing? Page of Pentacles. I am right, sort of morally right, and just my status on this throne is correct. It's that kind of grandiosity. It's more than vanity, it's grandiosity. And this, I know I'm right. I know what I say and what I think is correct. Because I've got the Three of Swords, emotional pain, stuck to the wall. It can't touch me. So I think, and here we got another one. It can't touch me. Except for that little bit. Just that little bit right at the bottom where his toes in the water. He can't stay away, you see. He can't stay away. And here, as I said, is like an utter devotion to the task in hand and to the process of cause and effect on the physical realm. And the realm of income and expenditure, effort expended, Eight of Pentacles, income gained, like all just being used as a mirror to reflect the self here. And here we move on to the royal devotion of that. So we're just knocking it all out the bloody park today. We really are. And I mean we're knocking these two columns out the park. This Six of Wands here, this is beautiful and collective. But this is the easy expression of power here in the kind of the wand realm in terms of what you actually build and construct in the world. This is the easy expression of power. And the reason I say that, well, as is the King of Swords, but we'll come to that in a minute. The reason I say that about the Six of Wands here is that this is the head of an army, and we see the army in the background, and they are coming back from battle, Five of Swords, victorious. But it's not, there isn't anything sort of really like madly celebratory about this. It isn't some pomp and circumstance thing. Those are the real soldiers. And he's simply dressed. I know it looks like there's a bit of blue there. That's just a light off the camera reflecting on the thing. He's simply dressed. He's dressed like them, but he's their leader and they would follow him anywhere. And he's confident leading them. The horse doesn't even need to look where he's going. And he has tweaked that laurel wreath off the head of his adversary, okay? And like captured it. It's victory. And there's a humility about this expression of power here. Easy authority in terms of leadership, okay? And this as well, King of Swords. I mean, whereas the Queen of Swords is still, let me find her to show you. Hold on a sec. She's actually bothering, I should say, to negotiate. Like she's beckoning somebody forward, and she's either going to like receive some sort of tribute from them, or she's going to like cut their head off. But there's interaction here, okay? And that does make a difference. Whereas the King of Swords, it's like there's no negotiation. It is this way. And end of story. So here, there is no need to sequester oneself away in the stone sarcophagus of knowing one is right. It's, like, truth is a right old bendy business. It really is. And, it can be a very, very silly mistake to go down this road, especially as a way of kind of responding to this Five of Swords energy. But I mean, this Five of Swords energy, this stupid game, stupid, kind of unnecessary and inappropriate in the setting game that this churl is playing here. It's just like, boof, like, yeah, we'll just get rid of that. Yes. And there's no sort of like, oh, what if this and what if... No. Complete authority in the matter of thoughts, acts, karma of thoughts and speech here in the King of Swords. Absolutely lovely. And just is so calm. He's just so calm. He's just sitting there. He don't need to sort of discuss anything. He don't need to listen to anyone. He's flipping King of Swords. And to have that authority, like in the same column as this Six of Wands, this easy authority and this acceptance on the part of others that you know what you're doing. Leadership, like I said. I mean, it's not surprising when... okay, now I need to backpedal a little bit, because everything I've been saying here about the King of Swords, like, absolutely negates what I was just saying there about the Four of Swords. About, it can be a very dangerous road to go down to know, in inverted commas, that you are right. But then that's exactly what, I mean, he really does. And the reason he does is because he's a natural part of this energy here. So there's kind of this overthinking going on over here, all right? And what's actually available to us here, and it'll be very interesting to see what the final cut card is it's just complete, it's like a hot knife through butter over here. And what's holding it up is this flipping self-focus. And I mean, I said about narcissism again, narcissism doesn't necessarily revolve around sort of thinking you're great. There's plenty of narcissists whose kind of primary mask is some sort of victim. Maybe that's a little bit what's here as well in the Four of Swords, like secretly. Okay, I'm going to pull the final. Oh, how lovely. Look at that. I'm glad we've got a 3, because that's collaboration, you see. This is joyous collaboration, and this is a natural movement from the 2 to the 3. Here we've got the equal exchange of opposites, a bit like the yin and the yang, complementarity of opposites, leading to the double helix of healing. Ooh, helix. Ooh, that would be clever, wouldn't it? Helix.com. Anyway, with an A in it. Should edit that bit out. Yeah, this beautiful 2 to the 3 here. This opening up and this collective and equal, they're not exchanging cups here. They're raising them to each other because they respect each other and they delight in the company of each other. It is literally a crowd And it's being comfortable in the crowd and being happy to be part of the crowd, being happy to be in the flow, and to have the confidence. King of Swords, the confidence, Six of Wands, to take part in things and like jump into the pool with everybody else and have some fun. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to pull one more because I still haven't got enough here. I'm going to clarify certainly this column because I want to know more about the presence of the Five of Swords here. I'm going to clarify it with a major arcana. Growth is blocked here, movement is blocked here, but it can't trump this final column. It just can't. But it's something to do with hooking back to this Five of Swords energy here. So let's pull one more major arcana. This is leading to this, and especially to this, because you know when it's time for death to come, it's oh, anyway, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to trigger anyone, including myself. Right, one more major arcana. Okay, the moon. Yeah. Okay, I see. This Five of Swords energy here, in all its kind of complexity and disruption, I've got a little bit more generous sort of attitude here straight away to this middle column. Because in a sense, it's no wonder that one would retreat from this back to the Four to this. It's like sod this. I don't want to be part of this conflict and this game playing, this kind of abuse of low-grade abuse of power here, and like exploiting other people's difficulties, weariness, fear, dismay, whatever, exploiting it for one's own gain. In a sense, there's, you know, as I say, it's no surprise that one might want to retreat to a stone cell and go into meditation for a while. And perhaps, you know, if this energy is kind of poisoning all the rest of this, or like putting a brake on it, like sort of kind of hooking it, then in a way, this kind of self-focus here that I see in this column is kind of understandable. And the reason I'm saying all that, and I've sort of like shifted my attitude a bit, is because we've got the moon, which is really not being able to see things for what they are. And our capacity to understand things clearly, right, which is the energy of the sun, it's not constant. It's not constant, and it's not kind of sufficient. And it comes and goes, and things sort of come into focus and crystallize and then go blurry again. And it's just this kind of washing around, mysterious kind of thing. And there's a lack of understanding of how to, you know, what this really is, and perhaps why people engage in this kind of stuff, when the emotional view here is of unity of opposites in the Two of Cups. So yeah, the word dismay comes up again here for me in the context of having pulled this moon card. I'm going to go ahead and pull one more for this middle row as well. Something keeps coming back Okay, like the cycles of the moon. Something keeps coming back, and it is a bit dismaying, and it's a bit draining. Yeah, look at that. I said this middle column, the energy was about being like tightly held, and here it is. Strength. Like just holding on to those jaws because it's the only way to stop. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Suddenly I've been so harsh through this reading. Suddenly I feel really sorry for, whoever this might concern on your part, dear viewer, dear listener. Someone's really trying to keep hold of something here, and not in a kind of a sort of avaricious, greedy, Four of Pentacles, miserly sort of way. This is about trying to keep a lid on potentially damaging stuff bubbling up from the sacral chakra, and perhaps even the root chakra. I mean, there's plenty of solar plexus energy here in the Magician and in the Seven of Pentacles. Plenty of it. And in the Ace of Wands under there. But this kind of tide's coming up and it looks one way, tide goes out and it looks another way. Moon's full, it looks one way. Moon's like new, it looks another. It's just that there's nothing sort of stable. And here, like turning in on the self and just sitting on that throne. That's it. But you see, the danger here is that can turn into one can get frozen. And there is a frozenness. I mean, once you've done this, once she's got her hands in that lion's mouth, where does she go from there, mate? That's my question. Where does she go from there? I mean, she's going to need someone else, at least one other person, to kind of help finish his job off. Because, okay, she's disabled that lion, but in doing so, she's put herself in a position where the moment she lets go, poof. Right, okay, come on. Might as well make it 3 out of 3. Right, okay. Judgment. Actually, do you know what? I'm quite tempted to go back and look, because I think I pulled that in the reverse. And these I definitely didn't. Yeah, it was in the reverse, my friends. It was in the reverse. Okay, what this tells me, that the judgment is in the reverse here, is that this is the natural state of things. All of this is based on this kind of frozen, like holding on for dear life type energy here today in this reading of the Strength card is predicated on this kind of contradictory, now you see it, now you don't energy here in the first column. You've got it within you to work really, really hard and get results here in the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of creative energy in the Ace of Wands here of kind of what to do in the world, how to sort of exist in the world in a practical sense. But it's kind of marred by this contradictory, like conflicted, unconflicted sort of energy here. And yeah, okay. Judgment in the reverse. Nothing needs to be gone over again. It's a question of trying to work out how to let go. Right? Without all of this stuff kind of like rushing up and taking over, which is the fear here, which is why it's this energy here is so clamped down. But Judgment being here in the reverse makes this a very, very safe bet, if I can put it as like informally as that. You know, nothing needs to be re-examined. Nothing needs to be dug up and gone over again. You are here, okay? And that there's nothing more that needs to be reckoned. This is simply a matter of working out. And I would say her best bet in working out her next move with this and how to let go safely is to take it one step at a time, one little action at a time, because there's an energy here of things being a bit teetering, like perhaps only just holding on, and that is predicated perfectly naturally in this uncertainty and kind of mysterious and like what the actual fuck kind of energy of the moon here in this thing. So take it one step at a time, one little action at a time. And even that, just for your reassurance, okay? Just so that you don't feel like overwhelmed by anxiety here. Because this is unrequiring of further examination. I'm going to leave that there. Having said that, that seems like a great place to stop. So thank you so much for watching. Private readings can be arranged via the email address in the description box. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.